welcome to this episode of American Redneck. Today we are continuing working on the 67 Starcraft, working on a couple of the engines. There's going to be a lot of background noise at the moment. I have the sonic cleaner going, the wife's out mowing the lawn, and it's a beautiful day here. It is currently, I don't know, mid-60s. It's going to hit mid-70s today. So, without any further ado, let's get going. Over here I have the boat. I have the 28 horse that I'm going to be working on here very shortly. I have the 18 horse, 20 horse, what do you want to call it? It does seem that once I get this going and the compression has built up a little bit, I've greased up the pistons and stuff like that. By spraying stuff inside the pistons and just running it and trying to get going. But I know without any gas in there, it's not really going to build the pressure that we need. So we're going to do that. Hopefully, maybe this episode. One of the reasons I did a bunch of testing on the coils and the plugs, not the plugs, but the doohickeys there. And everything seemed to be okay. They look practically brand new. Like I said, the plugs that came out of this thing were, look at this. I don't think that's even been run with these plugs in it. Same thing with the points. They look practically brand new. It all looks brand new under there. So I'm thinking whoever had this before me, mosquitoes are out, had issues and they couldn't get a spark. I watched a couple YouTube videos and stuff like that. There was one, OM Fishing. He's a pretty good guy. So he does a lot of outboards. So what he has found on his, and people had told him, is with the spark plugs, the end of the spark plug wire, inside there, like the first quarter-inch or whatever, will get rusty and corrosion, and you won't get a spark. So what I tested, I put a lead down the side there with the meter, and then I went right to the little thingies there that I just told you what they were. And there was no continuity between the two. So what I did is I cut off the ends of the plugs, and so I have bare wire now, and I tested it that way, and I'll show you here. So I have these here. So as you can see, I have just the bare wires now. So I put the leads on here, and then underneath here I put it on there, and I did get continuity through them. So I'm thinking it's just the ends. So I cut these off in here, and where the plug ends they're somewhat old and brittle. Right now I have them in the sonic cleaner. I have the heat on, and I'm warming up the plastic molding so I can get the little pitons out of there. And so I can clip them back on here. And then hopefully once I clip those back on there, then we will take a test to see if we have spark. If we have spark at that point, then what we'll do is we'll put the plugs back in, and we'll get some gas or something, squirt it in here into the carburetor. Actually I picked up some starter fluid, so we'll try it just to see if we get a little spit and sputter. Once that's done, what I'm going to do is rip off the carburetor, throw it through the sonic cleaner, and then get that all washed up, cleaned up, all the jets cleaned out, stuff like that. And then I just took my needle nose pliers and I pulled these little guys out. So what that does is it sticks inside, and then it goes in that wire. When I put it back on, I'll show you. And then it just goes on the end of when you put the spark plug in. That's how it goes on. So I'm going to take this on the wire wheel, clean up these edges really quick, and try to clean inside a little bit on both of these. And then I'll get you set up, and we'll put it back together, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I took these on the wire wheel, if I can see here. I cleaned them up a little bit, especially these tips here. And the inside, can't get quite to. What I think I'll do is I'll take a file really quick. Hang on. Alright, so I took a, it's okay. I took a file for sharpening chainsaw blades, and it's just a round file, and I just went inside there really quick. So here's my two wires here. When they come up, they're going to be like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this in sideways here so it doesn't twist or anything like that. And there's two ways you can do it. You can stick the boot on here and then just pull it back through, or you can put it on this way and stick it through. When you pull it back through, you don't have as much, it has a bigger hole, so it might be easier. But my thought on that is if you pull on it, it's going to pull this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on first, and then I've already tried it. It will fit in that little tiny hole. I'm heating them back up in the ionizer with the hot liquid in there, so they'll be more pliable. So I'm just going to take this. All this does, just stick it in the middle of the wire. Alright, so I have that in there all the way. What I'll do is I'll test with a continuity tester in just a minute, just to make sure. So same thing with this one. Alright, so you're going to get an outcome like this here. So I'm going to grab my tester, set you up a little bit better so you can see a little bit better, and we will test these to make sure that they are connected really good. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. Right now it has a 1 on there. So what I did is I put this on like 200,000 kilo ohms over here. So when I touch these together, it should go down to, well, that's about as best you're going to get, about 5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this and bend it sideways so it's not touching that, and we'll see if it moves. Perfect. So that one there is touching. I'm also touching under here. That's not the best place and everything, but at least you'll have 2 points of contact. So let's do the same thing to this one. Stick that in there. It doesn't matter which way you have this. This one we do not have any continuity. Now, the inside is a little dirty right there. Going on the outside where I got it really good. So here we have continuity. So those are pretty good. I'm not worried about the inside because this is just a tiny little piton here. So the spark plugs actually have the big nub that'll fit right in there. So I just heard the ionizer go off. So I'm going to grab the 2 plugs that go on the end of that, and we'll put them on. I just grabbed one at the moment because the other one I'm going to leave it in the hot water or the hot liquid for now until I get in there. So as you can see here, you have the bigger hole. This is where the spark plug goes into, and then you have the smaller hole. And of course this thing here would fit easier down here, if you can see what I'm doing, the bigger one. But like I said, if I put the wire up through, put it on and pulled it back through, we have a chance of pulling that off.
I'm not sure.
Alexa's trying to talk to us, apparently. So where that's somewhat pliable right there, I'm just going to take this and stick it in the hole. That looks beautiful. Let me grab the other one, and the same thing, I'm just going to stick it in there. So slippery. Well, when you put it in, make sure where this goes through, it's going like this. You don't want it like that because you won't be able to put your spark plug in. I'm just going to check in here to make sure that, that everything's good. So that one looks perfect, and that one looks a little cockeyed. We'll grab our needle nose and we'll adjust it. And I'll show you guys in a minute. Hey, look at that, you can't see nothing. Let's see if I can grab a flashlight. Okay, you can see somewhat. We'll get the spark plugs on here, and we'll do a turnover and see if I get any spark. So let me set up and we'll be right back. Well, I went to go hook up my booster pack to this. Apparently it grew legs and walked out the door. I got everything else for it except for that. Like I had mentioned, you can charge your phone with it. So I'm wondering if one of the teenagers went and grabbed it and charging their phone. So I hooked up the marine battery, and I made it, clamped it on there so it doesn't heat up this time. So I'm gonna set you up. We're gonna check out, and hopefully we get spark. Everybody cross their fingers. Hopefully we have some spark, because if not, we're gonna move on to the other engine for now and leave this one. If we do have spark, we're still gonna move on to the other one. So either way, because I just want this to set for a little bit. Yeah. Let me set you right up so you can see really good, and bring it right back. While you guys weren't looking for a second, I just went and I took a wire brush to this here. That way I just get a good ground, so I can just stick it right here. So you should be able to see that pretty good. Just let me know. Let's see if we can turn it here with the best way to do it. Let me know if you can see any spark, and see if I can shock myself. Great, woohoo! So the battery's hooked up. Alright, so here we go. We're going to test it out. I don't see any spark. Let me check this one. Ow! Well, we got spark. Because I get a little sparkness there. It appeared to be a weak spark, but we got spark. I didn't see one though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just go really quick and take off. Let me zoom you out here really quick. I'm going to take apart some ground here. Take this ground off and clean this up a little bit. See if we can get a little bit more spark out of it. You can't see that, but that's okay. Let me just turn you up here a little bit. So this is the ground right to the engine. A lot of times in the old engines, the spark or the ground where it's grounded to the engine is corroded underneath, especially when it's been sitting for years. So I'm going to take this apart really quick. You guys don't need to watch me do that. Take this off, clean up all these, put them all back together. We'll be right back. I just wanted to show you what I meant about a bad ground. As you can see here, there's a bunch of white around this here. So that's not getting a good ground there. And on the back side of this, it's the same thing. So I'm going to clean up this here, clean up this. This is for all that electronics under there. And this one is for directly to the battery. So I'll be right back and clean that up. I just want to show you what it's going to look like. Doesn't that look much nicer? So I clean that up, clean this one up a little bit, and then this one here, it goes to the battery. And while I'm at it, I'm right here, I'm just going to take off the, this is the, the live wire, positive right here for the starter. Even though it was working fine, I got the everything out to clean up things. So I'm just going to take this off really quick, clean that up, put it all back together, and I'll bring you guys right back. I took this off here, cleaned it all up, put it back on there. I put the plugs back in. I didn't want to get zapped again. Put the plugs in. They're just finger tight, well, really finger tight. And I put some starting fluid in there. I just want to see if I get a little sputter or anything, or any exhaust out of the anything out of there. So let me just fire this up, and we'll see. Cross your fingers. Let's take it out of gear. Not much there. Let's put a little bit in the carburetor. Then we'll put the choke on. Alright, I know what you're saying. This is a little wobbly. Flywheel. So I think I need a new flywheel. But I'm not getting anything out of this. I didn't hear any spit, sputter, or anything like that. So I'm gonna pause working on this for the moment. And I'm gonna work on the 28 horse. Now the 28 horse, let me show you. I'll set it up and I'll show you. So this is the 28 horse Johnson 1962 outboard. Before I picked this up, this turned, so I knew it wasn't frozen. Then I went to go to play with this a little bit, and I mean, it was frozen. And I don't think it was because of the pistons or anything like that. But I can move it back and forth like this, about that far. I can put a screwdriver inside here, and they do move, so the pistons are moving. There's no scraping. I have sprayed in there for a few days, getting everything lubed up. The shifting mechanism over here, if I put it in neutral, you can't see it, but I'm trying to push on the prop and see if I'll show you. Push on the prop, it's not moving, it's in neutral. Put it in forward, it goes a little bit and stops. Put it in reverse, it goes a little bit and stops. I put it back in neutral, it doesn't move. It goes backwards. I'm going to take off this part here, from here down comes off. And I believe that the water pump is in here, so I wanted to check that anyways. And then I'm not sure, but I don't know if maybe from here to here there is a connected point where it connects the bottom to the top here, or if the shaft goes all the way down. I don't know. Like I said, I've never worked on these. But that's what I'm going to do to this one here next, is I'm going to take off this lower unit. I may have to take off this here. But we'll see what happens. The 2 3/8" wrench took off 6 bolts that go under here. This one up here 9/16", which holds the whole thing together. As you can see, it's going to move around a little bit. So I got to finish taking this one off up here. So took that one out. Oh, there we go. Well, the good news is, with all this down here and this taken off, this up here turns freely. So I know that the problem is not up in here, which is a good thing, because I didn't want to take this out to try to do anything up here. I can at least take this out and figure out why it's not doing it. So we're going to take this over to the bench and start taking this apart to figure out why it's locked up on us. And then we'll go from there. I got it up here on the bench. This rod here is the shifting mechanism to go forward and reverse. I don't feel any clunks or anything down the side here. This is the, I'll call it a drive shaft, but this is what gets that going. And of course this one here is from the impeller, which we will check while we have it out here. This is just the intake for the water. Let's just take that apart real quick. I know you guys can't really see that, but I'll turn it a little bit. I just want to take a look inside there. Probably nothing. Maybe some milfoil. Just as I anticipated, there's not much in there to take a look at. There's one that goes down, and then there's one here. This hole here goes up. So as the water is coming this way, actually it's going this way, isn't it? So is that on the right side? We'll say that it is. I believe it is. That's the way it was. But again, other people have been working on this thing, so you never know if things are on backwards. And this is not one of those things that you can put on only one way. The bike is going by. So for now, we're just going to leave that on there. And let's take the prop off. So I'm going to take out the cotter pin, split pin, whatever you want to call it. I call it a cotter pin, so I'm going to be calling it cotter pin. And of course, you never want to use the same cotter pin over again, so it doesn't matter what it looks like when it comes out. You don't want to use that. That's trash. This here is broken, so I most likely will not put that back on, but I'll put it back over here for now. And this here looks like it just has a pin in it. So I guess I will be putting that on because it holds the pin in. So I'll clean that up on the wire brush. So that should just slide right off there. Let's get a pin in it. I mean a keyway. And a little bit of persuasion should come right off. So since we get this off here, that in there looks good. Where this is a budget build, I'm not buying a new prop. So now we got to take off the bottom here, where the water comes in, and it comes up through here. There's also a screen right here, where the water gets pushed into. So as the water comes this way, because the boat's going to go that way, it's going to get pushed straight into there and then up inside. There's also a screw over here. I don't know what it's for. Let's see if we can take this off without touching that. We might have to. Or maybe not. I want to show you what I'm seeing, but I don't want to lose what I'm looking at here. Okay, I get an understanding how that goes. What I want to do though is I want to take a picture really quick, so I know exactly how it needs to go back. That's what we got up there. So look at the thing, we took this apart. So this here is the gear shifter. That's what this is holding in. And hopefully it goes back together easily. That's a weird looking one, huh? With all the gook on it. There's only screws at the top here. So now this should slide right up. So there's metal pieces in here. That's never a good sign. You can see like this bushing washer thingy, it's rotted right out. So I'm going to spray this down, clean this up a little bit, and I'll be right back. I dumped all the water that was in here. That was the issue. So this whole thing comes right out. Let's take this shift mechanisms off. And it seems like there's something right here that's holding it. I don't know if that's just rusted in there. Yep. So this is the reason why it wouldn't turn over. Just so I know how this goes, I might have to watch the video. So we have a bearing. Well, I thought it was good, but it appears to be seized. It was just going around in circles on this. So what I'm going to do is I will clean this up inside here, get some degreaser, some cleaner and stuff like that. Try to get this bearing to work again. Take these off. Clean this all up. So I'll put this in a way that I know they come off. Same thing with that bearing. That bearing's all seized up. So luckily, because I don't see any grooves over here, luckily they didn't run this when these were seized up on it. Doesn't appear that way. We have this clip here. Currently have no idea where it goes. We have this washer type thing. Then we have this gear. And it appears that, does this have a place for a set screw? It smells like swamp water. Looks like a spot for a set screw, but I can't tell. We'll let this sit over here for now. Get a washer. This here is what switches back and forth. This is what this little arm here sits in. And then so as it turns inside, that would be neutral. This side over here would be either forward or reverse. I don't know which one. And then when it slides this way, that would be the other way, the opposite direction. So let's take this right off. And again, this one here has looks like a set screw. Let's see if I can clean that out. Here's my favorite PB Blaster. Tasty. And that does not appear to have a set screw. Apparently it's just a hole. Yeah. So it's not a set screw. What this hole's for, I'm assuming, is when you put the gear oil fill up in here, that just allows it to get down inside there. So why won't this come off? I'm not really hugely oh, there it is. I just need to give it a little tug. That's all smooth. And then we have this washer. This appears to be. It does not appear anything in here is broken. It just looks really dirty. I don't know where the metal came from. I don't see anything shavings unless I'm missing something. This one here doesn't appear to be broken at all. What I am wondering, that you know how when something rusts, it creates a bubble, and so air gets underneath it and stuff like that, and this has got a bunch of that on it. So I am wondering if maybe that metal that I feel is just where the rust has risen and come off in the gears. Because look, you can see right here, that's rust. It's metal, and it's coming right off. But I do not see anything broken, which is a good thing. Let me lay it out. I'm going to take a picture. We're going to heat up the sonic wash. I'm going to put all these parts in there, and then clean up whatever we can with a wire brush. And while that is cleaning, I'm going to take out, there's another part in here, like a U thing. I'm going to take that out. You like my technical terms, U thing? Take this out, and that other spider gear will come out. And that's what's hooked up to the lever, or lever, or whatever you want to call it from wherever you are. And this as well. Do I want to take this out? I do, but I don't. That's got a clip on it, so I'll take this apart too. And this is got that rust on it as well, like a chunky rust. But let me take all this apart, get the sonic cleaner start to warm up, and then we'll go from there. So I'll be back in just a minute. While we're waiting for the sonic washer to heat up, currently I don't want to just turn it on without, but when you turn it on, it actually heats up faster because all the water molecules are moving really quick. So what I did is I put a ball for a trailer hitch in there, and I turn it on. So that's warming up. So while that's warming up, this here, like I said, I don't know if I want to take this out. Let me check it out. Yes, I want to take it out. There it is. Maybe I'll clean this up with, I don't want to put anything abrasive on this, because I don't want this to be abrasive. Yeah, that's it. I haven't taken out the bottom part yet. I'm going to leave that in there for the moment. What I am going to do while that is heating up, we're going to take this off. This is where the water pump is located, underneath this. And get it over here so you guys see a little better. And I'm going to zoom you in. There we go. So the water pump's up here. So what happens is, as you're driving, it goes in the screen up here, it fills up this reservoir here, and then it takes the water and it just shoots it up. And that's it. You like my sound effects and everything? And then it just cycles inside there. So let's take this off. The water pump is basically an impeller. And I'll show you what that is if you haven't seen one. If you're watching on how to do this, you must have seen one before. Unless you're new like I am and you've never knew what it was like until you watched somebody else do it. So it's just 3 screws on here. There shouldn't be any gaskets or anything because the water it sits on top here anyway. And of course I need to clean out all this mud wasp stuff or whatever, and try to clean out inside there as much as I can, because this is where water flows in through here as well. So it's just those 3. This is just a copper tubing. It comes right out. It is tapered at the end and it fits one way. Well, you can feel it when it goes in there, how it goes. I'm taking that out for the moment. This rubber gasket here really is not a big huge deal. Let's take this off. Good thing it is. I am going to say that this is going to be a decent one. I don't know why this is on there. Oh, you guys can't see that, but it's on there. It's an O-ring gasket. And it's on the shaft for some reason. It was just sitting halfway down. I have no idea yet. We'll get there. So this is the housing for it. This is the impeller, and by the looks of the impeller, it's practically brand new. So as you can see, I mean, it is bent there a little bit. I'll probably put that in the ionizer as well and have that heat up. But the impeller looks fine. It's not all chewed up. It's not bent right over. The way that it works is it takes the water, once you put it in there, and it spins. And as it spins, it pushes water. This here is low, so there's like a, I don't know, maybe a 1/16 or an 1/8 inch gap between this and that plate. That's where it pushes the water up through. But we'll take all this, we'll clean this all up. Again, I'm not going to use anything abrasive in here. It's not all chewed up, so it looks good. Then you have this plate here, which there is a pin right here for this, which this will come right out. We'll take that out just to check the splines. The splines all look good. It's not really chewed up at all. So again, I'm going to take this, I'll clean this up again with something. Nothing abrasive. Then you have this little thing here that pops right out. I'm going to take a look inside there. So this copper thing here, it has a gasket on it, and it actually looks pretty decent, so it looks somewhat new as well. But I don't know if I want to dare to try to take that out because I don't want to bend it, but there's also bearings down inside here. And there's bearings down there. That being said, so the bearings are going to be underneath this here. Let's take this off. So once I take this off, this U-clamp thingy, bob, this one should come right out. And the same thing with those bearings under there, they don't feel that great. Oh, and earlier in the video, I was looking for my little, let's see if we can get it in here, my tack life, where I jump start everything with. I told you that there's a possibility that a teenager had it. Yep, I found it in the teenager's possession. So I took control of it again. Ooh, I got it. You get a little PB blaster. So here's that. It's got rust all over it. Here's the inner spline gear spider monkey thing. And a bunch of gook in there. I'm assuming that this here, this is beveled. I'm assuming this comes out. I'm not taking it out. Same thing with this one here. She seems to be a little, I think this is our issue right here. We'll add a little PB blaster in there. The thing is, you don't pack these bearings because you put gear oil in here. If I could just get this off in there, so all of this can go inside there. So that's turning a little easier. But there's still a lot of stuff in there. I don't want to do it too much. And I don't know if this is actually pressed in there or if it's just rusted in there. But what we'll do is when I put this in the sonic cleaner, I'll probably run it a few cycles and see if we can get a lot of that stuff out of there. So the sonic cleaner should be nice and hot now. I just ran that ball in there for 2 cycles, so about 16 minutes. So it's been heating up for about 20 minutes, so it should be nice and hot. I know it was warm the last time. So I'm going to take all these parts here, everything, and put it inside there and let that run a couple cycles as well. And while that's doing that, I will probably go and I'll clean up this here, clean up in there as much as I can. You guys don't want to watch me do that, but I'm just going to clean that up. I'm going to clean up anything like this that I can't put in there, and we'll go from there. So let me do all that and I'll bring you guys back. Well, since the last time, which was just seconds ago for you, it's been a couple hours here, and so this here is all together, well, back together. I need to get a new bolt for here because it's stripped out. I vacuumed out inside here. I did a compression test on this one here, and the same thing as the other one. Both of them had exactly 60 psi. So I'm just thinking this is a thing. Once I get gas in it and everything like that, then we'll check. Kobe started working on this, but I finished this as well. So we vacuumed out the entire inside. Tomorrow we're going to power wash it and stuff like that. Get the rest of the mud out. And this thing here tomorrow will come out. Oh, where's my hand? Right there. That's the lever. The little piton there doesn't pull up, so it doesn't. It does part of it. It does something. What does it do? Oh, it'll switch you into gear, but it will not do the throttle. So I got to mess with that. The steering wheel, I don't think I'm going to take that out. It's just the way that it is. I might take it out just to sand that and paint that, but that's not going to be in the next one, if you guys want to see that. So yeah, this is all done here, and let's go check out all the stuff that we get out of the sonic washer. So as you can see, this is nice and green, just a simple green still in there with some water. So tomorrow I gotta dump this out. Actually I had to let the stuff cool down because it was really hot even to hold it. So I will show you what I have here. I just want to show you this really quick. Nice hot water. There you go. Light's not in your eyes. Basically turn this thing back the way it's supposed to be. So the impeller come out really nice. I like that. I'm impressed with that. So let's look at a few things here we have. This plate here, which goes under the impeller, I need to clean this up over here. I didn't want to use any abrasive on it or anything like that, but I'll use something else. This here, I actually thought that this was plastic, but it's not. It's like cast aluminum. I got to do some cleaning up in here a little bit more as well. I don't want to use anything abrasive inside here. I didn't use anything on this one here. This came out rather nicely. It's nice and smooth now. The washers, I have the wire brush here, so I use it on a lot of this stuff. So I cleaned up the washers. The washers, that right there still has to come off a little bit, but that was worked out. This has, I clean up this side a little bit. I don't think this is as bad, but this is copper side. The copper side I did not use the wire wheel on. Let's go to this thing here. This is the switch, the gears, where when you put it in reverse it goes one way, and you go and drive it goes the other way, and then it turns. So this came out pretty nice. I actually used the wire wheel on this here a little bit to clean that up. This one here, the O-ring inside here, the hot water actually popped it out a little bit. So I don't know, I still might want to get an O-ring for that. But I did realize while I was cleaning this out that it does have a, I don't know if you can see it, inside, so you can get some better light here. You guys are not going to see that. But inside there it has a rubber washer bearing, not bearing, but washer thing as well. This is actually, this was stuck inside there like that, and I could turn it a little bit, but when I was cleaning in there I used a brush, this brush here, an old toothbrush, and I was cleaning all the stuff off, so that actually turns now. This was the one that actually it was frozen, that the whole engine wouldn't turn. This is where the shaft comes down, so that just goes in there and it turns. This one here is for the shaft that everything goes onto. This one here does not turn, so I haven't gotten this one freed up yet. What I'm going to do is this one here and this one here I'm going to let set in PB Blaster all night long. It's getting late, so after I do this I'm going to just end this for now. You guys won't even know. The two gears, the forward and reverse, they come out really nice. After I put them in here, I did 4 cycles in here, so that's about a half an hour. So it broke down a lot of the crap that was on it. Then I took the wire wheel, and as you can see, if I can get you some really good light here. It is still, it's a little pitted, like on the outside. I don't think that's going to matter, because nothing touches that. But the inside here, those all work pretty good. Here's the other one. Getting the light here. It does have a little rust on it. That cleaned up really nice. It got all the little things out of there. Nothing goes in here or anything. And then this is the, actually this is the one that was frozen. I didn't even look at that. So I don't know where that went. Oh, remember I took a picture? But this one was completely frozen, and I couldn't even pull the engine over because this one was frozen. Let's see. And it does move now. And again, this one here I'll use in the PB Blaster. And what I'll do is, once they're in the PB Blaster overnight, I will clean them up again and most likely put them back in here for another half hour or so and get these bearings all cleaned up. But yeah, I can't believe that came out. Just hot water made that. It wasn't, edges weren't really bad at all. So that came up. This one here, I did notice where that went when I was looking at everything else. So that's all this here. Let's go look at. So this I haven't cleaned this yet, this shaft, but I'll clean this. I need to clean this as well. This has a pin, it has a cotter pin. It has something right there. Yeah, there's a cotter pin right there. So I'll take this off. I'll clean this as well. Make sure this inside of this is nice and smooth. I haven't done that either. And let's see what else we have. We have this here. I just put some PB Blaster in here. Here's the other bearing that was inside there. That's where the one that was frozen goes right there. So yeah, the frozen one. This is, as you can see, there's a bunch of gunk in there, which I'll clean out tomorrow when I do that. And I'll clean all this up here so that snap ring goes right in here. So when I put it together, I don't have to snap it in. I'll just put it all together. So this is where that other bearing goes. The one that was that I showed you. The smaller one goes here, and then the larger one goes over on this side. So that's that for now. I brought the boat inside in the garage for now, and yeah, so I'll be back. Well, it's going to be overnight for me, but it'll be just seconds for you. Alright, see you soon. Hey, told you we'd be back. I know it was only seconds for you, but it was about 13 hours for me. So it is morning. I have done a few things this morning, working on some marketing projects online, stuff like that, yada yada yada. So, I know, where did we leave off 3 seconds ago? Yes, we were going through and we put everything through the wash, the sonic wash, and I put a bunch of bearings in a bag. I don't know if I showed you that. It's been a while. But yeah, let's go check out the bags. So these have been sitting in for about 13 hours. I individually wrapped them. And put a bunch of PB Blaster in there. There's a couple that were working pretty decent. There was one that wasn't working at all. This one wasn't working at all. So we're going to see if we can free up this one today. And we're going to just clean these ones up. Once I get this all set up and run through, and yeah, we'll heat up the sonic cleaner and we'll put them back through there again just to get all the extra stuff off there. Let's see here. Ta-da! Alright, I just went and I turned on the sonic cleaner, turned the heat on so that'll heat up. So let's check these out. This one, I'm going to wait for that one. I want to do this one first. That in there feels pretty smooth. There's a couple little nicks in there, but we'll get those out before we put it back together. This here seems to be working pretty good. We'll just go like this a little bit here and get everything broken up inside there, so when we put it in the sonic cleaner, everything will just come right out. And of course, when we put it all back together, it gets gear oil in there, so this will be all have all kinds of gear oil in it to make it nice and smooth. But I don't feel any nicks, bumps, crannies, anything like that. I do see a couple spots that need to be cleaned up. But again, I don't want to use anything abrasive on it. Doesn't mean I won't. So that one, it needs to be cleaned up in a couple spots here. I don't know if you can see that, but like the black area there, it's where rust had made its way there. So that one's all working. This is the other one. This is the where the dry shaft comes down. This is the one here that had everything locked up. So the engine wouldn't, I couldn't pull start the engine or anything. As you can see, that one's working pretty well as well. I'll just turn this one. This one's cleaner than the one that I just showed you. Hey, thanks, PB Blaster. You did it again. Mosquito going by. So that one's pretty decent. This is the one that was not, when I put it in here last night, it would not turn or anything. I don't know, it probably won't turn again now, but we'll give it a whirl, right? Yeah, you can see a bunch of corrosion right there. And it's still not turning. So I gotta find another way to free this up. I know you guys are just saying, just buy a new one, just buy a new one. If I have to. Get out of here. Mosquitoes. If I have to buy one, I will buy one. But I'm gonna see if I can free this one up. I don't know how yet, but we'll see. This one here is the gear shifter. Like I said, I haven't taken this off here. It does have a little cotter pin down there. So I'm going to take the cotter pin off, and yeah, we'll clean this one up. Yeah, see, as you can see, this is all rusty, but it does pivot. Sorta. Look, all the rust is coming out of it. Can I pull that out? I can. Woohoo! Yep, bird's excited too. Yeah, we heard you. First time. This one here, I'm going to put a little bit of PB Blaster and get some of this all freed up here. And this is going to go into the sonic cleaner as well. And we'll clean this up so it's a nice smooth whoop whoop like that. Alright, let me get this cleaned up a little bit. The sonic cleaner is heating up, and we'll get things in there and cleaning up. And we'll be right back. I bet you never guess what came in the mail today. Where I talk about PB Blaster, and PB Blaster is my #1 usage on freeing stuff up and lubricating them. Guess what I get today in the mail? Nothing. It's Sunday. No, PB Blaster didn't send me anything. But I do have a brand new can because I've used up the other can. But let me just show you really quick here. So yesterday you saw that I put all the stuff in the sonic washer and then I cleaned it up. But look, this is the stuff that's been sitting in all night long. You can see like all the dark there. This is these parts that were sitting inside the PB Blaster. So even just soaking in, I mean this one is just ridiculous. Just soaking in there. So over here I do have the sonic cleaner going with all those parts that I just did, and I'm going to probably put them in there for, I don't know, I'll probably do 2 or 3 cycles of 8 minutes apiece. Get all these other pieces here still that I'm going to be putting back together. The only thing that's stopping me, stopping me from putting everything together is that one that is frozen. But that was in there. I just whacked it with a hammer real quick. Just kidding. I'm not kidding. It's not any good. So usually when you put those in, you want to tap the outside because you don't want the bearings to break or anything in there. But I just put it on my little vise and I just tapped it. I've got some of the rust particles out of there. Sprayed it down on PB Blaster again and put it in the machine. So that's the only thing so far that I know of that I have to buy to put this back together. But we'll see. While that's doing that, we're going to go over here and we're going to take out this the throttle thingamabob. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've never done this. And this is all just for fun and games. This is, don't do anything that I do on here. It's not actually a training thing. I just like to play around with things. So I'm going to take that off there because the little piton, the little red piton underneath it doesn't work. You can, yeah. Anyways, let me get a screwdriver and we'll jump over there. Let's take that off. Where this has been worked on like 100 different ways, you can tell when people work on things, especially being the age of this boat. So there's only 2 screws holding this in here. So, and one's Phillips and one's a regular. I'm going to take these out. I just want to tell you a quick story though. So I have a porch, okay, so I need my porch painted. And so I looked on Craigslist, and there was a girl, and she was blonde, not that that matters, that she was just at a you know, summer vacation, and so she had put a thing in the on Craigslist saying that she's looking for odd jobs, you know, to get some money for the summer. So I contacted her. I said, hey, I have a porch that I need painted, and can you come over and take a look? So she said, yeah. So she came over and said, yeah, I'll paint your porch for you. I said, perfect. I said, how much are you going to charge to paint my porch? And she said, well, $50. I was like, that's a deal. I wasn't going to say anything. So I told her, I said, all the paint supplies are right in the garage. Just grab it and just let me know when you're done and I'll pay you. So I went inside and the wife's like, does she know that the porch goes all the way around the house? And I was like, I don't know. She said $50, so she's gonna do it for $50. Well, like an hour and a half later, she comes knocking on the door. She's like, I'm all done. I'm like, wow, that was quick. So I gave her the $50. I even gave her a $10 tip, you know, for getting it done so quick. She said, thank you. By the way, it's not a porch. It's a Ferrari. Anyways, that's my joke of the day. So let me take this out. So 2 reasons why I'm taking this out. One, because it's not working correctly, so I'm going to fix this all up, make it work correctly. Secondly, so I'm going to be painting everything, so I'm going to just strip everything down, and this is in my way. So this is just a backing plate somebody made. This is awesome. Somebody cut this out of aluminum. You can see where they drew the line in the middle. Yeah, they had arts and crafts day. They messed it up. Don't matter. This just goes behind it anyway. I'd rather have it bolted onto this, I think. I don't know. So here's the... Hey! I just vacuumed in here. See, both of them go. But as you can see here, you can see it's dark red right there. So this doesn't push up. So it's supposed to lock into place. Maybe they did that on purpose. All those little Barneys. But yeah, we'll take all this out anyway, because the other end doesn't do anything. Alright, that was fun, right? Let's find something else to do. That was anticlimactic. Alright, I know you guys watching these only see the inside of my garage here. The garage is my man cave, so it looks like it does, right? I just want to show you the outside really quick. I need to do some weed whacking and stuff like that. But springtime in Maine, we have a bunch of apple trees out here. This is the front yard over here. Get some, I don't know what those are there, but around the corner there's some lilacs, crabapple trees, stuff like that. And so, yeah, this is just the front yard. But yeah, this is life in Maine. Gotta love it. So, anyways, back to this. What I thought I'd do while we're right here, and I gotta set you up. I think that's it. Okay. Here we go. So I'm just going to take this off here, see if I can figure that out real quick. And that needs a nice little, everything needs cleaning. So let's take this off real quick. It's even got Loctite on it. Sweet. Pull it off. Oh yeah, now it pushes back in. Alright. That was easier than I thought. My question is, how does it lock? Is it missing something? I don't know. Let's put it on there. Well, the lever don't work of some sorts. I'm assuming there's something missing. Am I missing something? What am I missing? Oh, let's try that. So I'm going to pull it out. Let's try that. See if that works. And put it on. Come on. Well, so sort of works, I guess, kinda. So you have this round part here. I'm still thinking there's nothing missing. I know exactly what's missing. This is upside down. If I go this way, it's not going to go. See? But if I pull this, it'll go. And it locks in. Well, somebody took this off here and they put it on backwards. Did you see how this is? This little doohickey here. And right here there's a, whatchamacallit? Doohickeys and whatchamacallits. So yeah, whoever took this off, put it on upside down. Because it goes this way. Let me get something to take this off and we'll do it. So I'll be right back, hang on. Alright, so I got my wonderful tool. I was just thinking, as I just told you that somebody accidentally put this on upside down, I guarantee they didn't. I guarantee they took it off, turned it around for a reason. And I'll let you know why I think that in a minute. Of course, I'm going to take this all back apart eventually so I can clean all this up and paint this. So let's turn this back around the way that it's supposed to be. And put it back together. And we'll tighten it up, hand tight it with this so we don't strip anything out. And then we'll put it back on. And now it has the locking so you can't accidentally, I think it needs a washer or something, but you can't actually put it in gear. I think there's two reasons why they did that. One of the main reasons is probably this keeps popping out. Or they just didn't want the locking mechanism. So it's, or at the other end, they didn't adjust it and they need to adjust it to have it certain idle and all this other crap. But anyway, so now you pull it up, you can push it. Or you can lock it in. There you go, you're in reverse. So that works there. Now, I just want to show you this. I'll take you down off the tripod here for a minute. Again, working on somebody else's stuff. The reason why I saw that, when I first was working on this here, this little lever was up and out, and it was over there. And I'm thinking to myself, why in the world would they do that? See that lever right there? It's supposed to go down there. And why did they do that? And the reason being, right now it's locked. Okay? You pull this up, you pull it over, put it there. It's not locked anymore. So all this thing does is it locks it. As you can see, this has channels in it. So it locks it so you can't pull it when it's in gear, is the way that it's supposed to work. So this here is supposed to be here in the start position. This all needs to get cleaned up, and it must be in gear. Nope, there's gear, not gear. There we go. So as you can do, this here is in neutral, reverse, and then forward. When this goes, it does this little doohickey here. So when it's in gear, you can't give it, when it's in neutral, you can't give it too much throttle to, over rev it. It has to be in gear. So once this comes out, when you put it in, when you do the throttle, let me just show you. Try to show you. See how I can go past now? So I can go slow, but I can't. And then when it's in neutral, and I try to go all the way, it gets stuck right there. So you cannot, you can go slow, but you can't go fast, which is just a safety thing, which is pretty cool. So when you do this over here, you put it in start position. It puts everything in the start position so you can start it. Of course, that's what it's for. And what's supposed to happen is when I put this in start, and you can see it here, it moves this little doohickey. I don't know if they put the spring on the wrong side. I don't think they did. I gotta figure that out. But it does not lift when I put this in start. It actually pushes that down, so it won't start. For some reason, this here is not working correctly. It does look like this piece is missing. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a professional here. No idea what I'm doing. I'm just going by what I see. So there's something missing there, so this doesn't actually disengage to start it. So that's why I think they turned that around over there, is because something wasn't working right, so they just did that so they wouldn't, they can put it wherever they want. But we're going to do this right when we put it back together. So we fixed that, had to figure this out, and we'll go from there. But that's that. Alright, let's find something else to do. Hey, you guys can't see me. So, me and my buddy PB Blaster. If you guys have not used this stuff, or if you use anything else, I am not sponsored by PB Blaster. Hey, PB Blaster. Get a hold of them. Tell them to watch my videos, because everything I do is because of them. Well, not because of them, but because of them, I can do what I do. So, we just made a breakthrough. As you saw, the mosquitoes and everything, jeez them. Just a few minutes ago, maybe half hour ago for me, but just a few minutes ago for you, I told you the only reason why I can't put this back together right now, this whole lower end, is because of this, right? This was frozen solid. I mean, I could not move it. I did all kinds of stuff. But after soaking it in PB Blaster all night long, I put it in the Sonic Cleaner. I put more PB Blaster on it, and it still wouldn't move. But I just did a little finagling, and now, with the help of my friend PB Blaster, it's working. There's no wiggle in it. It looks like it's wiggling because my finger's wiggling. But look at that. So yeah, if you do not use PB Blaster, try it out. Just buy a can. Try this thing out. It is smooth. I feel a couple little nicks, ridges, whatever. Just a couple, not a lot. What we're going to do is I'm going to take this again, put it all inside these ball bearings, and just let it work itself in there. Just listen to that. Work all that stuff out of there. That sounds beautiful, don't it? And then take a little bit more, rinse out whatever I just came out. Again. Oh, hang on. Thanks, BB Blaster. Might be my thumbnail. There we go. How's that? So, guess what I get to do today? I get to put this back together. How's that? I just wanted to show you that really quick. I was really excited that I got this to work. And everything else is all ready to go. So, be right back. We can take a quick break from the lower end of the engine. I have some things soaking and stuff like that. So I'm going to use up the rest of this stripper. Yeah, there's no jokes there. I'm going to put it down the sides of the boat, and then while that is setting for a while, I'm going to start doing this here. So let's apply this to the sides, and then we'll go from there. I think on the inside here, we're not going to add the stripper. We're just going to sand it down the best we can, and then we're going to paint the inside there. So we get all this on here, down around the sides. We're going to let that sit for about an hour or two, maybe. It depends on how everything goes. But I'm going to set you guys up, and we're going to start to clean the front of this boat. So we'll be right back. So you guys all ready to do this? It's going to be exciting, isn't it? Of course, you're not going to watch it in real time. We're going to do fast forward. Might add music. No. So I got my redneck step ladders down here. A redneck step stool. So let's get this party going. As much fun this is as it looks, it takes a toll on the hands. So as you can see, there's a lot of extra stuff here, and I can feel that. So if I paint over that, it's gonna come up. So luckily we got some more, a little bit more of that goopy crap that we're trying to strip everything with. So we'll add it to these here. So you may be asking why I'm not using a regular orbital sander to do this, because it'd be much easier, right? Don't have one. But I do have on the website, it's American-Redneck.com, that you can go, in the links in the description down below, you can go and donate if you want to donate towards the orbital sander. But by the time that you are seeing this, this is most likely going to be done. But you never know. So, yeah. At least you can go down and you can click on the subscribe button, like and share this video, and click on that bell notification so you know every time that I post a new video. I get them. Why shouldn't you? Alright, so I've done this half over here. I'm going to go and do that half over there. I have another one of these. It's one of the wide ones, which I'll put on and go around the edges and maybe get some of this more of this up here. But alright, let's do the other side. Alright, this is about as much fun as one could have in a lifetime. Does the job on the wrists and stuff. So I think I'm going to maybe vacuum up all this dust and stuff like that. As you can see, I still have parts in here. Still need to get done. I am going to change my wire brush and we'll give that a whirl. See what happens. Hopefully you can see this right here. It does take off this stubborn paint pretty good. I want to try one more different thing. Hang on, I'll be right back. Alright, so I have my angle grinder thingy. Yeah, angle grinder. That's what it says right on the side. Just in case I was doubting myself. So I'm going to give this a whirl. I don't have a grinder on it. I have a flapper disc wheel thingy, bob. Sandpaper. Looks like I use it for something. Let's give this a whirl and hopefully I don't mess it up. Alright, let's try it out. Well, it takes off the heavy paint. That part over there, I have a little bit of that gunk on to see if I can scrape some of it off, and then I'll go over it with some more. Once I'm done with this here, I'll take the other brush and clean this up a little bit so it's not as whatever. But yeah, I'm going to grab a scraper. I'm going to start scraping that over there, see if I can get that off. And here we had some really tough stuff. Well, thick stuff, so I put some more of that on. I mean, it is taking it off somewhat. I can see down the sides. There's a lot of flaking going down the side of it. But, can you guys see me? Hello? Yeah, you should be able. You can see me, right? But yeah, there's some flakage going down the sides here. But I'm going to let that set just for a little bit longer and then we'll try that. Now I won't use that on here because I don't want that all through my flapper disc. I'm going to use a flapper disc on a couple different spots here. See if I can get these cleaned up. and then we'll clean it up with the other, not that wire wheel, but the other one that I had on there in the first place. Battery's just about dead on here. I'm gonna put her on the charger. I'm gonna do some sanding here, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm all done. The front part, I'll let you watch do the sides. Alright, be back. Alright, so before I finish doing this up here, this all over here, and doing this with that, and then cleaning it all up, we're gonna do a little test real quick. It's not a redneck test, but we'll make it a redneck test. How's that? Now you can see me. So you know how when somebody tells you to do something, then you think about it, or somebody yawns and it makes you yawn, stuff like that. So I have a little thing that I want to try with you guys, and see if you can help me out, or see if you can not do it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is don't blink. Alright, some of you just blinked. But anyways, so I'm gonna tell you not to blink, and then see how long you can not blink for. I don't know how long I can do it. I can't do it that long. But so what I want to do is I want to scrape all the stripper off from the side of the boats, and I figure if you guys blink, I'd be done by now. But, okay, right. You guys blinked, didn't you? You blinked. So, thanks. Now I don't have to do it. So, the side's all stripped down. Look at that. You guys are good. You guys blinked again. Look, this side's all done. Thanks for blinking. For some reason, there's some putty in here. I don't know if there's a hole or what. Don't know. But look at you guys. Hey, look at Ant. I didn't want to kill it. You're gone. So yeah, you guys blinked. And I could ask you to blink again so the whole boat would be done, but what kind of fun would that be, having the boat done in this episode? No. So, hey, thanks for blinking, thanks for playing along, and thanks for stripping for me. Well, thanks for getting, yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm going to get the thingy going over here and work on this front part here. And then we'll get that one over there. We'll clean that up, and we'll see how good we can get down the rest of these. Alright, well, I figured you guys didn't want to sit there and watch me strip, so. Well, most of you. Well, no, yeah, all of you. You know. Anyways, I will be back momentarily. Alright, there's somebody out there that appears to be blinking like a bastard. If you keep on blinking, the whole thing's going to be done. So the whole front is all done. All yeah, sanded down. We're going to do a power wash on it here very, very shortly. And as you guys can see, like I said, somebody is blinking like a bastard, and all the sides are done. This here is Bondo. I don't know why, but it's there. This little stuff here, I might try to get that a little bit after I power wash and everything like that. But yeah, look, you guys doing an awesome job blinking. So, we're going to take the boat out. Not out for a ride, but going to bring it out in the driveway and let the boat down off the trail a little bit so it tips. And then we're going to get the power washer out and power wash the whole front. Oh, maybe the underside as much as we can. Get this all power washed in here. And yeah, we'll go from there. Yeah, get the cowling on the engine. But let me get all set up, and then you can watch us power wash, maybe? Yeah. You guys want to watch power? Anybody? Raise your hand if you want to watch power washing. That's right. Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah. So let's get it set up and we'll do some power washing. Hey, how we doing? This is day 3 of Memorial Day weekend. So this is all going into one, so of course this is a long video. So this is day 3. Trying to get the lower end put back together. It's a pain in the butt. Let me show you. So I have the whole lower unit back in place after cleaning everything out. It was a pain in the butt, but anyways, we have the bearing, and then the spider gear thing, and then there's a washer, and then goes the spider monkey thing, I don't know what it's called, and then another gear. No washer in there because it wouldn't go all together, but it should be fine. And then we get this funky little piton thing here, and then there's a lock washer here, or some, whatever you would call these things, a C-clip, another bearing, and then this piece here, which is the it has the O-ring here, and then sort of a thing here too, so no water can get in. So I'm gonna just zoom you in here really quick so you can see. So you can see this turns freely here. And what was locked up in before, there's down below here, there's another spider thing that comes up which turns these. So these turn in opposite directions. And while they're doing that, this doesn't turn. There's a, when I put on the other half of this, there's going to be clipped in here. So, and then this is the shaft. You can't really see, but from here it goes all the way down, goes all the way to the engine. So when you go forward and reverse, it moves it. So I'm going to just show you really quick. I'm going to hold it here because it needs something to keep it here, because this pushes up and down like a lever. So when I push it up, it moves this piece here, the spider gear thingy, into the reverse gear, and then when I pull it down, it moves it over to here. So let's see if I can show you, well, somewhat show you. So this is how it changes gears. So yeah, everything is all together, I think. I just want to clean up around here really quick, and then when I put on the top part here, then I have to put my fingers up in here and try to get this on. So that's this. Everything's working. These actually go like this. So of course you can see when it goes this way, it turns the shaft this way, and when it goes this way, over here, it turns the shaft that way. That's how you get your forward and reverse right there. That's it. I'll be right back. So this is the bottom part of the lower unit. It has the drain screw here. So on this side, you're going to see a little screw hole here. It doesn't go all the way through. What that's for, that is what holds on the shift linkage. And then you have a bolt like this, and this one here, as you can see, so it has screws, and then it has just a bar. So down through here, you're going to see that on this side you can screw it in, and on this side it just holds it in there. I'll show you. So it basically just makes a pin, because you don't want a screw in there. Even if you have to replace this, you don't want the threads in there, because it'll make it more difficult for that thing to turn or change gears. So let me clean this up and put this all back together. It's gonna be a pain in the butt, so you don't need to watch. So I'll be right back. So I guess I went a little overboard there and said that it was going to be very difficult to put on. It's not going to be very difficult. Until I know that this engine is running 100%, because I don't even know if the engine runs yet. I'll replace the gaskets under here. Oh, here you go. Under here and around here at a different point. But again, I wanted to make sure that the engine runs, because if it doesn't run, there's no sense getting the gaskets for it. So the easiest way to do this, oops, sorry about the noise, is you have this here, okay, and this just sits there. So the easiest way to do it is just to let it sit there, just like that, and when you put it on, it lines up beautifully right there. So if I put it all the way down, it's not going to line up. So I can adjust it a little bit here and there. I got it in there a little bit, so I'm going to test to make sure that it's on. Yep, it's not coming out. Perfect. So make sure that everything goes back together the way it's supposed to be. And there we go. So this is back on. I'm going to tighten this up, put all the bolts back in, and then we'll go from there. Be right back. Now when I put all the screws in here, I put this one in first, tightened it down pretty good, and then there's 9 screws. I call them screws because I don't know, they're not really bolts, are they? They use just a regular screwdriver. So what I did is I started, I don't know wherever I started, so I went from corner to corner, stuff like that, back and forth, and because whenever you have gaskets and stuff like that, and where it's going to be holding things down, they has to be set evenly. So what I did is I took it, I know you know how to use a screwdriver, but I tightened them down. I went around, snugged them down, and then after I tightened them down, hand tight, and then what I did is after that I went back to the same thing. This particular screwdriver has a place right here where I have a 3/8 inch wrench. Just put it on there and just snug them down just a little bit more, so they're on there really good. Everything seems to be working in there, and let's move on. I painted the prop. It's all pretty in it. This particular prop, this here has a keyway in it. This prop does not have a key at all. Let me just double check. In case I'm lying to you guys. Now it doesn't want to come off, but we'll make it come off. And so the inside of this does not have a keyway. Per se. And there's also, so there's different ways you can have a bar back here sticking out, so it sticks on there. As you can see that. There's a keyway here in case you have a prop that needs a key. This one doesn't. I'm going to put that on. This one actually has a cotter pinhole, or pinhole here. And there's 2 holes in here. You can't see, but trust me, they're there. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to put it on the furthest one back. And then this, I was going to clean this up, but it's a little rusty. It's a little bent, but that's good because that way it's not going to come out as easy, I guess. So we're going to put this through and tap it down a hair. Now with this particular prop, unfortunately there's nothing stopping it, so this can pop out either way at any time, which is not fun. So that's what this cap is for. I painted the cap as well. This one is actually broken, as you can see, but again, I don't know if the engine works, so I'll order, if everything's running, then I'll order one for this. So there's a second pinhole here, so I'm going to line up this hole here, and then there's a cotter pin that goes down that holds this on. What this will do is, and it's checked out where it's not where the hole is, but it'll hold this pin in place. So just like that. So the pin that's inside here, see if you can zoom in a little bit better, see if you can see that. And grab a flashlight, and you can see the pin is right here, and the plastic. So once I put the cotter pin in, it's not going to turn, but that pin will not fall out either way, either the top up here or down here. So I'm going to put the cotter pin in, and then we'll be back. I haven't put it in yet, I just wanted to show you. Like I said before, when you take cotter pins out, you don't want to reuse them. This is the old one. As you can see, she's a little, get over here maybe, a little jacked up. So I went through my stash of nuts and bolts that I've had for 100 years, and I found a brand new cotter pin. So this one here is what I'm going to put it in. Fits beautifully, and I'll just bend this around. Let's just zoom in here. So it's in all the way. Yeah, just bend these up. I know you guys know how to use a cotter pin, but how's my elbow looking? And just tap it for good measure. Yeah, now that's not coming out. See? Woo-hoo! And that's not coming off, not sliding. It's on there nice and good. It's in gear. That's all set up. I am going to put in oil. Let me get you set up so we can see that. So this takes gear oil to make everything in there all nice and greasy. So this is actually upside down, so when it's on the boat, this is the top. This is where I would want to put the oil in. Normally the way that you want to do it is when you put the oil in, there's here and here, high and low. So you want to put it in the low one and have it fill up, and then have it leak out here. Where this is upside down and where the drain is on the top here, I'm just going to take it and fill it from the top. So let me get my bottle ready and I'll be right back. What I'm using is Supertech. This is the Walmart brand, heavy duty extreme pressure. It's the synthetic, yeah, synthetic blend, 75 weight, 90 whatever, gear lubricant. So make sure it's gear lubricant when you use this. Normally I would use like a marine gear, but I don't have any. This has been sitting up in my stash here for a while. It's a brand new bottle. I just took the cap off, so it's fine. So I'm going to take this off here. And I love how the 60s, this is a 67, use all, I hated people using these things. I don't know, so I think these should be all nut drivers or whatever. But this one here I couldn't put in because it's not big enough anyway to put a ratchet down there, a socket down there. So that's all open, and let's fill this up and make a mess. How's that? And of course I had a screw in down bottom. The idea is to have as little air in it as possible, because of course when you're mixing up oil and you're blending basically with all this stuff in here, it's going to take that air and put it into the oil. And we're going to stop right there. Alright, lesson learned. We got a lesson. Today's lesson. Never do this upside down. Ever, ever, ever. And the reason being because it was pouring out the bottom. And why was it pouring out the bottom? Well, apparently right here is where the drive shaft goes down. If you look in there, you probably can't see it, but there is a basically a rubber washer kind of thing. So it keeps all the oil in there. But when you have it upside down, it just pours out there. So, lesson learned, never ever, don't do that. Only on American Redneck you can find this stuff out. So let me set this all up correctly, and then we'll try it again. Oh. Again, with the whole thing. When you tip it upside the other way to show you why it's pouring out the other end, put the screw back in where you were putting it in, because it was coming out there. That's not loud. That's not funny. Yeah, actually, it's a little funny. So I'm going to put the drain plug screw back in, and then we'll go from there. So the numbnut award of the day goes to this guy. So that's all back in there. Let's try this again, shall we? Let's go from the correct way to do this. Should edit all that out and do it correctly. Nah. Shortcuts. So there, bottom's on. It's correctly. It's not going to go out. Now, hopefully I have enough gear oil. I don't see anything. The good thing of it is the chain that was sitting below has a nice nice oil finish to it. So we want to definitely do this until it starts pouring out up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn these gears a little bit down here. Not fast. What that's going to do is going to get all that in there, and then the air bubbles that were in there will hopefully get them out. That should be good. It does look like it's full. I'm going to look from the top here. It's not. That's why normally you would fill it from the bottom and have it go up so it starts spilling out. But if I go like this, where it's off, I can fill it up until it starts leaking out here. Then have my screw ready, so when it starts leaking out, I can stop and put this in. See? Woohoo! We're there. I don't want it to go up too much further than that. We wanted it right here. It's about as far as we want to fill it. We don't want to fill it all the way to the top. Put that back in. That's it. That's how we don't and do fill up the gear oil. What this will allow me to do also while I'm getting everything ready because I got to finish the power washing the boat and stuff like that before I tip it up and yeah, put this back on because I can't put this on at the moment. I want to try something. So here's the drive shaft. We get the little piton down here. This is what turns the water pump. So it goes this way. See if I can get it in there. Alright, it is working, but you can see it's pushing it back up. There's no springs in there, so why would that be pushing back up? I'll tell you why. Because when you fill this up, this should have been in there in the first place. So there's too much oil in there. Which saying, I got to pick it off the floor anyway. Oop, there it goes. Yeah, now she's full. And you can see, because we'll run this, and then as you can see it's nasty, because inside here I couldn't get all the way in there. We will get that when we do the next change, maybe after we run it a couple times, run it, or at least run it once in the water. Then we'll change that right out. Alright, so this is my last warning. Somebody out there is blinking hard. So we have the low unit all put back together, all working. Everything's in there. Put this little piton back on. So the way that I did this to make it easier is I took this part off. There's this part right here. I took this off, bolted onto here. So when I put it up in there, I don't have to, I can look from here up. So I can link up the shift linkage, put the water spigot up inside the other spigot so it keeps going up, and then put the shaft all the way up. So right now we are freewheeling it. If I put it in gear, of course it's not going to go anywhere. Put it back in neutral. Working. Put it in reverse. And it locks up again. The way that it's supposed to. I moved the engine over to where it belongs. So, what you got to do is hook up. I tested this out over here, and it works. I didn't think it worked, but it works. So when you put it so far, it puts it in gear, which is on the other side, and then the other one, when you put it further, it goes here, hooks up to this, and then it works fine. So let me just put that together really quick. Should only take a second. Hang on. So it's all hooked up. I'll do adjustments once I get everything going here. So this is the throttle here. It goes all the way up. And then this one here is for the shifter. So when you shift back and forth, this one goes and then the other side will go. And this here is for the steering. Some reason, if I put it on this side, it goes far right or far left. And put it on the other side, it goes far the other way. This is quite the adjustment down here, so I can fix that. But we'll do that later. Different time, different story. I think this video is going to be long enough. So yeah, that's all done. So I'm going to get the power washer out. Well, it's already out. And as you can see, I started up over here a little bit. Taking some of the green paint off anyway. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get the power washer out and I'll set you up. You guys ready? Black flies are out. Holy crap. Alright, I'm going to do this. So you can tell what side the sun has been sitting on. So this side wasn't, this came off pretty good, but not as good as this side. But yeah, I got green off, and I got brown, and then blue. So I think what I'm just going to do is I will, now that I get the initial off, I am just going to take the wire brush to it and see how much more that I can come off and see how much I can smooth it out. Because of course, like I said, up top here, where it's all chromish silver kind of, there's going to be like a metallic blue. Every one of these, where these little things go into, there's going to be a star here, white star, all the way up, down the other side. And then I don't know what I'm going to do up here, if I'm going to do a big star or what I'm going to do yet. So we'll figure that out. And then going down the side here, underneath down here, that's staying that color. I'm not color painting that at all. And then this here is either going to be, let's see, probably red, then white stripe going down the side. I haven't figured that out yet. And then back here, I don't know if I'm going to keep it one color. Let me guys know what you think. But that board's getting replaced, so I don't know if we're going to do all one color back here, if we're going to continue the red and white back here. I'm thinking one color, and then on one side of it, it'll be the name of the boat, and maybe on the other side it'll be the year. Actually, I think right now in this area, it'll probably say 67 Starcraft down there. And of course, the trim all the way around, that'll stay white. It'll get white all the way up there. We'll replace inside here. So, and then maybe the trailer will be metallic blue like the top. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But that was that's it for this video. It's a long one this week, just because we had a 3-day weekend, Memorial Day, and I just did parts of the day, went and done worked on the boat. So yeah, recap, no, it's too long. But today we finished putting the lower end of the motor on. I think the next video, we're probably going to see if we can get that 28 horse to at least get started or something. Yeah, let's see what happens. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that little bell notification so you know when the next time that I upload a video. And yeah, thanks again for watching. You visit me on, all my links will be down below there. But you can check out everything that I have on AmericanRedneck.com. Again, link in below. Follow me on Instagram, because I've been leaking out videos and pictures and stuff like that. So you can find me on Instagram at AmericanRedneck207, because 207 is the area code for the state of Maine. But again, all links in the below. And I greatly appreciate everybody watching this week. Hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend. It's been a beautiful 3-day week here, 3-day weekend. A little bit of rain yesterday, but other than that, it's been about 70, 75. Yeah, anyways, I'm out. Have a good one, and we'll see you on the next video.